It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
Right now on Fox 5 News at 10.
The 5 things you need for driving around this winter. Don't you start your car till you see our report.
Some witnesses have a very different version of what happened to Flight 587, but they say the government won't listen to them.
And 10 years ago, this riot nearly tore our city apart. Tonight, a new development could open old wounds. Good evening, I'm John Rolland.
I'm Rosanna Scotto.
Well, the 2 men who were the ringleaders in the attack in Crown Heights will have to be tried again. An appeals court threw out their convictions.
James Ford is in the Crown Heights section with the latest. James.
Well, you'll recall an incident that happened here 10 years ago sparked the riots. A Jewish driver accidentally hit a 7-year-old who was playing here 7 blocks down the street. A crowd ended up stabbing an innocent bystander who was Jewish. His family and friends react to today's news.
Very angry. Very angry.
Reaction to news that a federal appeals court overturned the convictions of 2 men in the Crown Heights riot stabbing. But other reaction is very different.
As one day passed, I don't expect to see him. And when he called me tonight and he told me that he's coming home.
The father of convict Limerick Nelson calls the new decision justice. Police arrested Nelson for the stabbing of Jewish scholar Yankel Rosenbaum in August 1991 during riots in Crown Heights. They happened after a Jewish driver accidentally ran over 7-year-old Gavin Cato. Limerick Nelson was acquitted in state court, but he and another man were later convicted in federal court.
He did not receive a fair trial based upon the makeup of the jury.
Limerick Nelson's attorney says he's ecstatic over the news. A jury convicted his client and Charles Price for violating the stabbing victim's rights. But now judges say one Jewish man in the jury had doubts he could be impartial. Will the new decision cause more racial strife in Crown Heights?
Basically, the people here in Crown Heights, the black folks and the Jewish folks, we get along very well together. The Jews, the blacks in Crown Heights and Williamsburg, all over. The neighbors live together, work together, they tolerate each other.
The new mayor says the neighborhood that includes this intersection has moved beyond its racial strife. As for the 2 men who were convicted, they are expected to have a retrial, but it's not yet clear whether or not they will be released pending that retrial. Reporting live from Crown Heights, Brooklyn, James Ford, Fox 5 News. John?
All right, thank you, James. Well, there's another case in Brooklyn that's been in the courts for a long, long time, nearly 15 years. Somebody killed a cab driver then, and now for the second time they're picking a jury to hear that case. Prosecutors say they have a strong case against Arlette Cheston. He's even confessed. 2 men who were wrongly convicted in the first trial just got out of jail last May. Anthony Faison and Charles Shepard. They spent 14 years behind bars. They were released after an investigator found out the key witness against them had lied.
There's controversy tonight over some eyewitness accounts of the crash of Flight 587 in Queens. Some people say investigators are ignoring their stories. Patricia Wu is in Bell Harbor with more right now. Patricia.
Well, Rosanna, these witnesses say it's premature to rule out a terrorist attack. They've written to the National Transportation Safety Board to demand that they be called to testify at a public hearing. They say they saw the Airbus explode in flames before its tail sheared off.
I saw an orange explosion. It wasn't that large. It was in the fuselage of the aircraft behind the wing. The plane continued to fly for another second or 2, and then all of a sudden a major eruption of flames.
That happened before the plane broke up and crashed to the ground in Bell Harbor, according to Tom Lynch, one of the first to arrive at the crash site. Lynch, a retired firefighter, says the small size of the crash site supports witness accounts of an explosion in the air.
It tells me that I think a lot of the fuel burnt in the air as the plane was coming down.
Preliminary reports on the accident from the NTSB have focused on factors from air turbulence to pilot error. Eyewitnesses say their accounts have been completely ignored.
The people that died, the people that are still alive, their families have a right to know the actual cause. It's not fair to them to just guess on what it could be. It could actually be the plane had mechanical failure, but it did explode. We all saw that.
The NTSB response? Their statements will be made part of the public record whenever we open the public docket. We expect to have hundreds of statements from eyewitnesses. The NTSB has also said that they have not come across any evidence of a crime at this point, but they are not ruling anything out. Reporting live from Belle Harbor, Queens, Patricia Wu, Fox 5 News. Now back to you, John.
All right, thank you, Patricia. Well, some scary moments on board a Delta flight from LaGuardia bound for Atlanta. Pilot had to make an emergency landing at Kennedy. Took off about 9 o'clock this morning. It was diverted to JFK when the pilot smelled smoke in the cockpit. Passengers say it was scary, but everyone kept their cool.
We had started and something happened to the plane. It was an odor on the plane. We don't know what it was.
Turns out the fumes were from an electrical problem. All the passengers were put on other flights. And it turns out that 15-year-old boy who crashed his plane into a high-rise almost caused a real tragedy. Air traffic controllers say that he missed a Southwest Airlines jet by about 1,000 feet. His name is Charles Bishop. He left a note in his pocket expressing sympathy for Osama bin Laden. Now there's a big investigation into how this could have happened.
We really don't know what we could have done differently. This young man woke up Saturday morning with a thought that that was going to be the day that he was going to commit suicide. He was going to do it in an airplane.
Police tell us the boy was a loner, but his teachers say he was friendly.
There are delays at the airports tonight, up to an hour, thanks to the winter storm that moved through. Now, maybe there's no snow outside your door, but the storm did sweep through parts of our area, including New Jersey. Dick Brennan is in the town of Riverdale with more. Dick.
That's Riverdale in northern New Jersey. Rosanna, we can tell you the only pileup we have to show you is not cars, it's of snow. Snow like this on the side of roads and on the side of parking lots. Now, there's a slight flurry in the air, nothing serious. It's tapering off, but I can tell you tonight on the roads there were some serious traffic conditions.
It was treacherous travel on 96th and 3rd in Manhattan, leading to this nasty bang-up. Assaulters were out in force as late snow brought a coating of ice. There's no business like snow business for plow guy Jim Kozine.
It was just a warm-up for what's going to happen.
The main event?
Yeah, I really expect a lot more snow than we got tonight.
Here in Riverdale, New Jersey, they're really hauling out the salt. This backhoe is going to take it over here and dump it, if we step out of the way and don't get hit, dump it right here in this truck. They've been doing this all day long, but still the salt keeps coming because there's lots of black ice. If we can just show you very briefly, on the ground here, a film develops, freezes over. The drivers can't see it, and it makes for real trouble on the roadways. How's it been going?
It's been going. A little chilly, a little slippery, but 'tis the season, so.
And for some, like Dave Cole of Butler, New Jersey, 24 degrees and snowing is nothing. He likes it real cold.
When it gets to the single digits.
Then you put a coat on.
Then we'll put a coat on and a hat.
Someone's got to talk to that guy. Now, in the meantime, tonight can show you Route 23 moving along really nicely, but also I have to tell you, all night long we've seen plows going back and forth. That's because this road and a lot of other roads are icing over very quickly. If you're on the road, needless to say, take it real slow. We're live in Riverdale, New Jersey. Dick Brennan, Fox 5 News. John, back to you.
All right, thank you, Dick. Well, the storm also dumped some snow in Westchester County. They got about 3 inches. Not enough to close the schools, but enough for folks in Ossining to dust off their snow shovels, but that was about it. And this is what it looked like on Long Island in Hicksville, the wind blowing a lot of the snow around the city streets there. But kids being what they are, they got together to make a reasonable snowman.
Well, it was a slippery commute this morning. Scott Fox was over an accident along Route 287 in Riverdale, New Jersey. It managed to tie up traffic for a brief time. The ride home tonight was a little better. We found traffic was moving when we checked out the 59th Street Bridge. Coming up, some how-tos of winter driving, the must-have items to keep in your car that may save you if you get stuck. That's a little later.
Well, so are we finished with the snow for now?
I don't think so. The Fox 5 Weather Authority, Nick Gregory, is here with the first look at the forecast.
Yeah, a couple of flurries to go through tonight, John Rosanna. And right now, as we look at Storm Pro, I can show you some of those flurries. Bands of snow showers and flurries from about Trenton, going all the way on up across the city and on into the western edge of Connecticut. But they are winding down as the night goes along. And right now in New York City, we are still getting a little light snow. It is 27 degrees. The wind has gone calm. And area temperatures are pretty much all below freezing. So what does that mean? That means the roads will ice up where there are some little slushy spots from the daytime, so be careful driving overnight. Our forecast calls for the snow to end. It will be mainly cloudy, though, with just a little clearing towards daybreak, breezy, and the low actually should be 24 in the city with teens in the suburbs. We have this clearing trend that will be coming in overnight, and if you look at the satellite loop, you can see those clouds building to the west. When will those clouds arrive? I'll tell you later on tonight's Fox 5 News.
All right, coming up, taking the train in Jersey is going to cost you more, but there's some good news, too. We'll explain it.
Welcome back for a special cruise ship, another sign that the city's coming back after 9/11.
And this lady was told time and again to check in the mail, but it never came. Well, geez, watch what happened when the problem solvers jumped in. That's coming up next.
Herman Edwards did what no other New York Jets head coach has been able to do this year. He made the playoffs in his first year. Edwards, Jets are in the Super Bowl hunt. They had to win on a last-second field goal to get in, and that's exactly what the Jets did out in Oakland. Now there's a chance they'll play the Raiders again on Saturday. We'll explain.
I think if we have to go back there, it'll be another tough football game. But we know that, and I think they know that. They'll look at some things they didn't do quite right. We'll look at some things we didn't do quite right, and it'll be another tight ball game, I think.
And we've got more on the Jets, the Michael Strahan sack controversy, and the Knicks when we return later in the news.
If you've got a problem, call the Fox 5 Problem Solvers at 1-877-TEL-FOX-5.